Oh my god. Jungkook finally reveals the reason behind Jimin's different attitude towards him. Army around the world in uproar. One sentence from Jungkook in a recent interview instantly made the atmosphere of fandom turn into full of emotions and question marks. No one expected that, behind the bright smiles and light laughter that they always showed in front of the camera, there was a much deeper story between Jungkook and Jimin. A story that had been tightly hidden, but finally began to be revealed little by Jungkook himself. I know Jimin has his own way of showing affection, Jungkook said slowly, in an unusual tone, as if holding something heavy inside. Those words came out of nowhere in a casual interview session that initially discussed Jungkook's solo career journey. But unexpectedly, when the interviewer touched on Jungkook's relationship with other BTS members, especially Jimin, Jungkook's expression suddenly changed. His gaze dropped, his normally cracking smile suddenly dimmed. We used to be very close, almost like siblings. But over time, I learned that closeness can also change shape, she said in a hoarse voice. The sentence immediately made many fans hold their breath. Over the years, ARMY has come to know Jungkook and Jimin as an inseparable duo, two figures who can often be seen supporting each other, joking, and taking care of each other on various occasions. From moments on stage to behind-the-scenes videos, they seem like two brothers who grew up together, going through everything from trainee days to the peak of world fame. However, many also had time to notice small changes between them in recent years. Jimin, who used to seem protective of Jungkook, now looks more distant. Jungkook, while remaining friendly and loving to all the members, appears to be more careful in expressing his familiarity with Jimin. When asked further, Jungkook did not immediately answer. He looked away at the camera, as if weighing his words carefully. I don't want people to misunderstand. Jimin didn't change because he was evil or distant. He just is struggling with things that not everyone knows, she said quietly. The interview immediately became a major topic on social media. The hashtag #JungkookJimin was trending on Twitter and Weverse, while fans began speculating about what was really going on between them. Some longtime fans even recalled moments in the past when Jimin seemed so considerate of Jungkook, bringing him food, patting him on the back when Jungkook was nervous, or even holding back tears when he saw Jungkook was sick. But on the other hand, in recent years, the two appear to interact less frequently in public. For some, it is a natural thing due to maturity and a solo career that begins to develop. But for ARMY, who knew the two from the start, the change felt like a loss of something beautiful, the warmth that used to be so genuine and natural. What Jungkook said then made the atmosphere even more harrowing. Sometimes the people we care about most choose to walk away a little. Not because they don't care, but because they want us to grow, she said. That sentence left many people speechless. In one moment, Jungkook seemed to solve the mystery that had been hanging in the minds of the ARMY. Be that as it may, Jimin's seemingly different attitude was not a sign of coldness or indifference, but rather a more mature form of affection, a way to give Jungkook space to stand on his own feet. But it wouldn't be Jungkook if he didn't add his honest and emotional side. With slightly teary eyes, he added, "Honestly, I had a misunderstanding. I think he's not what he used to be, I think he's moving away. But now I know he just wants me to find my own version. And I'm grateful." The statement is like slapping all the negative speculation that has been circulating. Jungkook showed incredible maturity. No blame, no sarcasm, just full of gratitude and understanding. Even the fans were touched. Many said they cried after watching the interview. They feel as if they are witnessing the emotional journey of two friends who grow up under the pressure of the world, with a sense of love that persists despite being expressed in different ways. Even some netizens said that Jungkook and Jimin's relationship is a real reflection of how people change, but the feeling between them remains eternal. A Korean music commentator wrote in local media, Jungkook's statement shows a level of emotional maturity rarely seen at a young age. He talks not only about the relationship with Jimin, but also about the meaning of growth, loss and love in a calmer form. The comment went viral and further confirms that the story behind the relationship between the two BTS members is not just about casual friendship, but a deep spiritual journey. Meanwhile, some ARMY members recalled a moment at BTS' last concert before the hiatus, where Jimin seemed to stare at Jungkook longer than usual while singing the song, For Youth. At that time, Jimin was seen holding back tears, while Jungkook returned that look with a gentle smile. Now, after Jungkook's statement came to light, many fans are convinced that the moment was not accidental. Perhaps at that moment both realized that they had grown into two different people, but still understood each other without the need for many words. Jimin has always been a big brother to me, Jungkook said at the end of the interview. And even though we may not be as intense as we used to be, I know he's always there. Sometimes in silence, sometimes in prayer. The sentence ended the interview with an atmosphere full of emotion. The reporter who interviewed even wrote on social media that after the camera was turned off, Jungkook only sat for a few minutes staring blankly at the window, as if reminiscing about something very personal. For many fans, this recognition was the answer to a question that had been hanging around for so long, that the relationship between BTS members is not just an image or strategy, but something truly human with all the ups and downs, pain, and real emotional depth. Now, after the honesty was revealed, the army around the world even more respect for both. They realize that behind every laugh on the screen, there is an invisible struggle and inner journey. Jungkook and Jimin may not always walk side by side like they used to, but they remain connected by a much stronger rope: trust, respect, and love that grows with time. And at the end of all this, one thing is certain: Jungkook's statement is not just about Jimin but about true brotherhood. About how two souls can remain attached to each other, even though the world around them is constantly changing. We don't always have to be seen together to love each other, Jungkook said quietly. That phrase closed all speculation, but opened up a new space in the hearts of fans, that perhaps true love does not always come in the form of closeness, but in a silent prayer uttered from a distance. And after that statement, the mood completely changed. The world seemed to stop for a moment to digest every word that came out of Jungkook's mouth. He was not talking about trifles, he was revealing the deepest layers of himself, something he rarely did in public. Many do not know that Jungkook and Jimin's relationship has gone through so many tests, not only because of the difference in age or character, but also because of the tremendous pressure of fame they experienced together. Jungkook debuted at a very young age, and Jimin was one of the first people to truly treat him like his own little brother. In BTS's difficult times, when they were not yet known to the world, Jimin was often the place Jungkook leaned on. On many occasions, Jungkook has confessed that Jimin was the one who helped him the most to understand the meaning of responsibility, discipline, and compassion. I remember Jimin always saying, "Jungkook, you can cry, but don't give up." That sentence I keep remembering until now, Jungkook said in his old interview. But over time, both began to have different life directions and responsibilities. Jimin with his solo projects full of emotion and introspection, while Jungkook explores the global pop world with great confidence and ambition. It's not the difference that separates them, but it makes them have to rearrange the shape of their relationship.